The biggest loser of the night last night, and it's not even close, is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is still the leader of the Republican Party. And he got directly involved in a lot of these races. He chose certain candidates over others. Dr. Oz, Herschel Walker. These are people he decided to back, oftentimes against the wishes of the Republican establishment. And Trump bet on the wrong horse. And Trump was an anchor around their neck. Look at this. This tweet is amazing. So, the GOP governor candidates who refused to say if they'd have certified Biden's 2020 win in their states. It looks like all of them lost. Kari Lake, it's still a question. We don't know yet. I think it leans Democratic, but it still may go to Kari Lake. But by the way, coming into the election, I thought she was going to win by like 6-7 points. The polls were all in her favor. All of them. But they all lost. Tim Michaels in Wisconsin, gone. Tudor Dixon, lost. Doug Mastriano, blown out. Darren Bailey, lost. Dan Cox in Maryland, lost. Lee Zeldin in New York, lost. And again, it wasn't even that close. It was supposed to be a race in New York. It was supposed to be close between Zeldin and Hochul. It wasn't. It wasn't. So, all of these like hand-picked Trump candidates who snuggled up to him because they thought that's the path to victory, they got traxed, man. Now, compare that with, say, Kemp in Georgia, who publicly stood up to Trump and was basically like, no, I'm not going to find you 11,000 votes. No, I'm not going to steal the election for you. He's a hardcore conservative Republican, but he didn't bend the knee to Trump. That guy won big over Stacey Abrams. At the same time, in the same state, it looks like Warnock is probably going to beat Walker. So there's a lot of like vote splitting going on, and it's just the Trump candidates are the ones who are the weakest link. So another one that Trump handpicked, Don Bolduc in New Hampshire. Now, this was supposed to be a close race with Maggie Hassan. It wasn't close. Hassan won, and she won pretty fucking handily. I mean, I don't know what the margin is, 7 points, 9 points, something like that, but this was one that people had as a toss-up, right? So Trump, as soon as it started going badly, he throws Don Bolduc under the bus last night. Don Bolduc was a very nice guy, but he lost tonight when he disavowed, after his big primary win, his long-standing stance on election fraud in the 2020 presidential primary. Had he stayed strong and true, he would have won easily. Lesson learned. So that is exactly incorrect. Nothing could be further from the truth. That is 180 degrees opposite of the truth. The reason why Bolduc started distancing himself from the stolen election stuff is because he was getting fucking destroyed even worse. So, yeah, he won the primary, and then there he is in New Hampshire, a northeastern state, a more democratic state, and he was viewed as an extremist. And so, not only did he need to run away from that, he needed to run away from that faster and harder than he did. But Trump says, no, if you just kept denying the election, you would have won. What about all the other candidates who did that and then fucking lost? I think Trump is lying here. I don't know if he's lying. Maybe he actually believes it. But if he does believe it, he's deranged and delusional to a degree I didn't even think was fucking possible. Okay, so incredible stuff. Now, so here was Trump giving a speech in Mar-a-Lago. Republicans had a bad night. They had a bad night. There's a 66% chance Democrats keep the Senate. It's going to be close in the House, but maybe Republicans have a 3-vote advantage in the House, right? People were thinking, oh, Republicans will pick up 40 seats, 60 seats. They'll have 54 votes in the Senate. None of that materialized. Here's Trump denying all of that and just flat out making up numbers. Watch this. This is amazing.
The 330, we won 200. We won 324.
So first of all, not true, made up. But let me also point this out. A couple days ago, Trump endorses Kemp. Wait, hold on. This guy was at war with Kemp. He was trying to oust Kemp. He hated Kemp. Kemp stood up to him and said, no, I'm not going to overthrow the fucking election for you. But why did he do it? Trump did it at the last minute to try to then be able to come forward and take credit because Kemp won, for example. So these are his candidates who won. Some of them he's just flat out lying about and they didn't win and there's no argument at all. Others, he didn't really help and he endorsed literally at the last second. You know what I'm saying? So the ones that he will take credit for will be J.D. Vance won in Ohio over Tim Ryan. And if Kari Lake holds on, it'll be like, see, she was the most psycho and she won. But again, these are the anomalies here. And Ohio at this point really is just a red state. Just like Florida has gone super red, Ohio has seemingly gone super red. But outside of there, Republicans got draxed, and he's out here like saying, "We did wonderful, we did phenomenal. Oh, my candidates won. This is something special. I'm still the king over here."
So, if you think 224, and some of those were long shots. In all fairness, they were down in 5th place. We had a lot of people in 5th place that went to first, but it was 224 out of 330, and that's a pretty good number. And then tonight, because they kept saying, well, he's good on nominations, but is he good on the general election? So as of this moment, and we have some out there, we are 80 wins and 3 losses. Is that good?
Okay. He's so fucking full of shit. Now, in the past, the right would have heard his line and gone with it. I was curious, if Republicans do poorly, is Trump going to say, rigged election, everything's rigged, everything got stolen, or is he just going to pretend like they did well? Well, we have our answer. He's just going to pretend that they did well, even though they didn't do well. So here's how you know there's a sea change going on. At the same time, Trump is out here making an ass of himself when everybody knows Republicans massively underperformed. Ron DeSantis is one of the only Republicans in the entire country who massively overperformed his polls. He flipped Miami-Dade, which was Democratic leaning. He flipped Miami-Dade. So Ron DeSantis, sort of leading the way, outperforming the polls, making not just GOP elites, but run-of-the-mill GOP folks raise their eyebrows like, maybe it's time to look to the future. And the reason why I know it's a sea change, everybody's turning on Trump. So this is an article in Fox News. Trump blasted across media spectrum over Republicans' midterms performance. Biggest loser tonight. So look, they start out and they talk about, like Chris Hayes and the people on MSNBC and the stuff that they said, and that's expected. I mean, I would expect them to shit on Trump whether or not he actually had a bad night in terms of wins and losses. But then you keep scrolling here, and they talk about, well, DeSantis is sort of showing, like, I actually know how to win, and I'm liked more than you, and I didn't just massively get routed. And then I want to get to the Republican tweets. We have some Republican tweets in here. So this is Jen Psaki, former Biden administration person. So Dems have a Florida problem, but Republicans have a Trump problem. That seems harder to solve. I will also say this, by the way. Great tweet I saw last night. I forget who said it, but Democrats now have no reason to do this goofy bullshit where they are still in favor of the embargo against Cuba and being tough on Cuba if there's no hope of winning Florida. So now you can actually do the right thing and lift the embargo and normalize relations, and now you have no excuse. So you should do it. I mean, Obama did do it. But then Trump rolled it back, and I don't think Biden has done anything since Trump rolled it back, so now you can and should roll that back. So Tim Alberta says, if DeSantis lets Trump bluff him out of running for president after winning Florida by 1.5 million votes, it will be a fold for the political ages. Make no mistake, DeSantis should now be considered the betting favorite to win the GOP nomination in 24. So this is from a guy named Tim Alberta. I don't know anything about Tim Alberta, to be fair. But Tom Elliott, I think this guy leans right. Trump's a malignant tumor on the GOP. Time to have it removed. More. Mike Cernovich. Definitely a right-wing guy. Raffensperger and Kemp both win big, but I'm being lectured that DeSantis, who flipped Democrat counties, can't win. And y'all want to run Trump in 2024? Heaven help us. These are people who wouldn't have uttered a peep against Donald Trump not that long ago. Matt Walsh, another brilliant Trump endorsement goes down in flames. That's when Oz lost. Michael Brendan Doherty. Just all the chatter on my conservative and GOP channels is rage at Trump like I've never seen. The one guy he attacked before Election Day was DeSantis, the clear winner. Meanwhile, all his guys are shitting the bed. Look, I don't want to pat myself on the back here. I don't want to suck myself off here. But you know what? I'm going to pat myself on the back here, and I'm going to suck myself off here. I've been arguing against everybody for how long now? You guys probably know even better than I do. And this is a debate Crystal and I have had a number of times. Last night, I had this debate with Sagar and Marshall, too. I don't understand the Teflon Don. The evidence has now crumbled for the Teflon Don theory. There was a time, and you guys probably remember this, where I was the biggest proponent of the Teflon Don theory. Why? Because at the time it was true. There was evidence to back it up. Whenever the media would go after him and go after him in certain cringy ways, he would go up in the polls. There was a backlash effect. We no longer live in that time. He lost the 2020 election, and since then has become increasingly desperate and pathetic. He reminds me now of some creepy stalker ex-boyfriend outside of his ex-girlfriend's house, knocking on the door and begging as his ex is in the room with another man. I won the election. Put me back in, folks. At the very least, redo the election. I'm the greatest. I'm the best. I never lost. This is crazy. Why don't you guys love me? Every single normie in the country, every independent, every moderate is done with him. Homeboy's under like 8 investigations. We're talking about imminent indictments in some of these cases. So, okay, Crystal and I debated the other day. Can Donald Trump win from a prison cell? No, of course he can't win from a fucking prison cell. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes, negative partisanship is a big deal. It is a big deal, which is why immediately when the raid happened in Mar-a-Lago, Trump's numbers went up. But in the long run, they're going to go fucking down. Hillary was investigated by the FBI, and that hurt her. These are just laws of political reality. Okay, it's going to hurt him. How could he? There's no way he could win. Certainly not a general election, but even a primary from a prison cell. How are you even going to do the job from a fucking prison cell? This guy has a stench on him. Republicans need to get past Donald Trump. They have to get past Donald Trump. I think a lot of them know that. Believe me, he's going to have a base that will never abandon him. But what is the floor of that base? That's my question to you. What is the floor of that base? The Republican base might like Donald Trump, but do they like him more than winning? You want to go down in flames every election from now until the end of time because you can't shake this freak? What's the floor? What is the floor on his base? 25%? 20%? It's lower than people think. It's lower than people think. So let's see. Do I have any more Trump for you? I think I have one more video, which is, okay, so again, this is him touting the dubious numbers here. It's so sad. He's such a brazen liar, but I think he lost touch after the 2020 election when he became full, like, Fox News grandpa, conspiracy theorist, QAnon guy, and when he got kicked off Twitter. I think that was terrible for him because he lost his normie touch. In 2016, he had a normie touch where he was able to do, like, the fake populist thing along with the, standard right-wing bigotry thing. The populist thing is gone. It's gone. And that's one of the reasons why he's totally embarrassing at this point. Okay, here's the video I wanted to show you guys. He honestly said this before election night. This is what he said. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Well, I think if they win, I should get all the credit. And if they lose, I should not be blamed at all, okay? But it'll probably be just the opposite.
If they win, I should get all the credit. If they lose, I shouldn't get any of the blame. Look, the thing is, he's not joking. Like, this is what he actually believes. This is who we're dealing with. Like, basic logical consistency doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. He's a huckster. He's a con man. He's a charlatan. He's a fraud. And he is losing political relevance super fucking fast. It's not just Republican elites. There's going to be plenty of Republicans, even ones who were pro-Trump, who are going to go, I might like him. Shit, I might fucking love him. But this is getting a little silly, dog. He is the biggest loser of the night by far, and it's not even close. And let me just make sure I don't have any other Trump graphic here. That's the thing about today's show. It's so scattershot. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night, and I'm just scrolling through my own tweets here to figure out the things I want to talk to you guys about. I think that's all I got on Trump. But I will leave you with this beautiful face. So this was me getting my game face on, prepping for my live election coverage. And that's what my game face looks like. It looks like that. I know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful sight that we have right there. All right. So there you have it, guys. I was always more bearish on Trump and bullish on DeSantis. I was proven more correct than even I thought. I'll leave it at that. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.